and welcome to the Saturday Night Shills. We apologize for being late, but the internet has been a right royal bitch today. But we've had Tattie working hard in the background, wrestling that beast into submission. Tattie, how have you been doing?
Oh, well, I've been having fun. I apologise to any neighbours and anyone within 5 miles earshot because the air has been seriously blue today. And I don't think children should be subject to that kind of language. But hey, we're here, we're rocking, let's get it on.
Alrighty then, thank you, Tattie. We really appreciate all the hard work that you did to get us online today. And folks, we have something really good for you tonight. We have a double feature of Stupid, featuring everybody's troll that they love to hate, right the hand. We have Casual Spaceman joining us as part of our debunk team tonight. But first, let's look around the room and see who else is here. I see the Casual Barman.
Good evening, Squire. How are you?
Oh, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. What's going on in your world there, Barman?
Not too bad. Had a nice busy night. Had the football lads in. Had a few good comments on some of my videos, some new subscribers, so that's always appreciated. Yeah, apart from that, all good.
All right, you ready to rock and roll tonight?
Oh, fuck yes.
All right. And I also see we have our resident lurker and time traveler on board with us tonight, Anti-Flatter. What's going on in your world?
Hey, my bro. Not much. We've just had our season finale, so everything's just a wee bit like relaxed where we are. Apart from obviously, of course, the storm that's going on right now and the shit fight on the internet.
I saw that season finale, and I got to tell you, buddy, you've got me worried. Is Corporal Flatter okay? Is he MIA? Has he survived the bombing? I don't know. When are we going to find out?
See, that's the thing. Everyone's changed. They're all conspiracy nuts now. Apart from there may be one left, one hope. But
oh my God!
Cup before we can start getting that one going again.
Oh, you've got us all on pins and needles. I cannot wait to see your season premiere. Any idea when that's going to happen?
It won't be till the next year. We're all taking a bit of a break while we fix up a few of the scenes. Fix up a few of the sets. Get the costume guys back in there, and then once it's all up and running, we'll start principal filming. Hopefully, early January.
All right, wonderful. And we have Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey. Are you here, Jutmonk? Or did the internet demons get you? It's possible that he might have gotten gobbled up by an internet gremlin, but we will come back to him hopefully. Nope. Did I just hear him?
No.
No, I was going to say, if we all just said 7 swear words each and started it with oi oi, then we'll be fine. We've got them covered.
Oh, that's starting to sound suspiciously like the Candyman legend. I don't know if I want to go down that road. We also have Aimee Hogan keeping us all on the even keel as our chief mod tonight. Aimee, how's it going in your neck of the woods?
It's going great, thank you. How are you?
It's a wonderful day. And anybody in the live chat that doesn't know, Aimee is our chief mod, and she will be making sure that everything in the live chat stays on the up and up. Everybody else who has a blue wrench, follow her lead. She's the one that sets the rules. She is the boss. And God knows the rest of us need it because we are just guys here after all. Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who came, and I want to say thank you to Casual Spaceman for coming on tonight.
All right, and with that, our guest and temporary shill for the evening, we have the Casual Spaceman. Spaceman, how's it going?
Well, it's going well. Thank you, Logical, and thank you for a very warm welcome, Aimee, as always. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Well, don't stop there. Shill yourself. This is the Shills, dude. What's going on in your channel? Anything new coming up? What has been up that I haven't seen yet? No, give it the old Shills.
I was putting off saying that. Well, I mean, there's a lot of you probably know I've been a bit ill of late, so I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things. Every time I think I've got my voice back, it kind of then starts to crack a little bit, and it's not really suitable for doing at least a speaking video. But yeah, we've got some exciting stuff coming up in the world of rocket launches and stuff like that coming up soon. So look out for that. We've got the Starliner is going to be doing its unmanned test launch on the 20th. Going to the ISS. So we'll see what happens. And those of you who don't know, that's the second of the commercial crew program that they're going to be using, so they can launch astronauts to the ISS from American soil since the shuttle, and that including the SpaceX Dragon, as we know. So they're going to be doing a test of that soon. So, and hopefully I'll do a video soon once my voice gets a little bit better, because I start speaking and then I start coughing after a while. That's why. That's why I'm probably going to stay muted most of this.
Yes, all fun and interesting things. We can't wait to see what's all going to happen on your channel as well. And let's try one more time, see if Jutmonk has wrestled down his internet gremlin. Jutmonk, are you there? Have you survived the gremlin attack? We don't know.
Oi, fucking oi.
They got.
Well, he will jump in when he jumps in, if he can jump in. Like I said, the internet has been a right royal pain in the rear end today. But if anybody's interested, on my channel, I recently released a James Bond spoof. I'm playing Agent 006 and 7/8 in The Alien Who Probed Me. I thought I'd take a little break from Flat Earth and look at other wood peddling, and this one is fun. If anybody hasn't seen it, I encourage you to go to that channel after the show and check it out. And everybody else's channel on this show is definitely worth checking out. They've all got great content. Check them out after the show. Keep yourself in popcorn and beer before you do, because that is a must. So with that, let's kind of go around the room. Anybody, since I'm playing a dick tonight, I guess, who's seen some right royal stupid that they want to bring to our attention?
Oh, damn. Just everything I've seen over the last week on most of the Facebook groups for Flat Earth by any Flat Earth proponents, because they're getting stupider. I didn't think it was possible, but they're getting stupider. There's one the other day, and he was trying to say that, yeah, they tell you that light takes 8 minutes to get from the sun to the earth. It's like, yeah, and? Well, that can't be right. What do you base this on? Because reasons. I'm like, for fuck's my life. And it just keeps going like that. It's getting ridiculously stupid out there.
I feel your pain.
I've got one that's very similar to that, and it was by, some of you might know, a Scottish guy by the name of Ali B.
Oh boy!
Yeah, yeah. Where it was Jose's Daily Boom, and the Daily Boom had just finished, but we're still on Discord. We carried on. And one of the things he said that was light was invisible, and he knows this because if he stands his friend in front of him, and his friend turns his back to him, if he then gets a flashlight, shines a flashlight at his center of his back, why is it that he can't see the light beam going through his chest in front of him?
What?
Chris,
yeah.
Punchy, I did not see you jump into the room. Hi, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, great.
Oh, Punchy, man.
Thanks for joining us. Are you going to be our surrogate monkey?
Hello.
Can I just say one thing about Punchy?
Go ahead.
He snuck into the Shills lair. All right, whose fucking job was it to lock the door when we came in?
Yours.
It wasn't mine.
That's usually a Lance Corporal Flatter.
Nah, you seem to forget. I'm Canadian. I have tactics. Why do
Yeah, but you normally apologize for it.
Well, I'm sorry that I have tactics, but I have them.
Oh, he probably just threw a bottle of vodka over at Yuri and got himself in that way.
Bribed.
Oh, God. So as far as that stupid that it's not shining through his chest what the hell? That's just stupid. I've heard some stupid. This got to be the stupidest thing I've heard this week.
Yeah, because apparently light is invisible. We can't see light. And he couldn't understand the fact that if you can't see light, then you must be blind. Oh, no. And apparently shadows are some sort of electromagnetic reaction to lack of light or something. I have no idea. I really don't understand.
What I find the funniest thing of all is they take concepts that are very simple to understand. And while the science behind it can be difficult to understand it, but the concept itself is very simple. And they just can't accept that simple answer. They have to just make up things like, gravitational warping of perspective and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on.
Yeah, before we get too deep into this, Aimee was poking me in the ribs in the background. Apparently she's got a few things from the live chat for us. Aimee?
Actually, I have a super chat. It's from Mr. Victory. It's $20 US, and he says, "Dang, can't stay long, but I want to say I love you guys." And his daughter Riley says, "No."
No. Every single time. Oh, I love it.
I've noticed that Del Cow is quickly becoming a thing elsewhere on YouTube. I've heard it on the Aussie Perspective over in Terry Davies' channel.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard it, what was it? BM Furball did a whole video of cows in a pasture doing. It's quickly becoming a thing. That is so freaking cool.
Yes. Can we all take 1 second just to appreciate how Conspiracy Cats turned Del, an angry, roid-raging Scotsman, into a lovable character that we can all just look at and giggle to?
It's genius, isn't it? He's a genius. He really is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The teddy bear out of control.
I don't mean Dale's the genius. I mean Conspiracy Cat's the genius.
Yeah, no, we know. Dale's the guy that put water on a fucking soccer ball. Soccer
Correct.
ball. And he just watched the water roll off of it and go, "Oh, where's gravity there?" It's like, dude.
Under your freaking feet, dumbass. Yeah.
Don't forget, the football wasn't even inflated. It was half deflated, if you remember.
Yeah, and he expected the water.
Yeah, and he's pouring the hose in it, and it's all on a rainy day as well. And it's just like, what is this guy trying to achieve?
It's like, were you honestly expecting the water to like bulge up and conform to the shape of that ball to make it look like a sphere? Like, with all due respect, are you on drugs? Like, good lord.
And it was
hope he was.
Yeah, and of course the flat football, it was had a little dip in it, and he said, "Look, that's what's holding it in. There's the water there. Look, it's what?
Look, curved water on the surface.
It's holding it in. It's holding it in."
But,
So, Chris,
sorry, go ahead.
Those accents are painful, by the way.
the accent's painful. Is that what you said,
Oh,
Tatty?
dear God, aye.
Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
No, he means your impression of the accent is shit. He's just too nice to say it.
I know.
Oh.
It's true. Tatty is a sweetheart. I love Tatty.
You'll be right back, punchy, mate.
I do better Irishman accent. I could do better Irishman, but I can't do Scots. Sorry. I'm sorry, Tatty. I apologise.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Well, not the only stupid. Go ahead there, Punchy.
Oh, I'll say one thing. I find it hilarious how, because I've never looked at Dell's channel myself because it's usually live streams, right? So I don't feel like filtering through that garbage. But when I've seen a couple on Conspiracy Cats' channel, like where he just has the Dell clips, and it's funny how with the football the football video that he had, where he's expecting, or he's not expecting, he knows it's not going to happen, but he likes to think that if gravity were real, that the water would somehow conform to make a sphere, right, on the ball, or to finish the sphere. But then on another video, or another clip that he had in a different video, he's like, look, curved water on a flat surface. It's like, well, Dell, is the water flat or curved? Buddy, make up your fucking mind, bro. Like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, in fact, Christmas time is fast approaching, and I don't know about you guys, but I sent my letter off to St. Nick today, and I don't know if I asked the old man for more than what he can actually deliver, but my Christmas wish is to get one flat earther to say one smart thing somewhere on one of their channels.
Honestly, man, you're better off asking Santa Claus for a fucking, like, you know, a new loincloth or something, so you can actually get that.
You can get a flirt to say something quite intelligent, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be right, because they can say intelligent things, but they're completely freaking wrong.
Yeah, when I say something smart, I mean something intelligent that actually happens to be correct.
Yeah.
You know, but I could hope. What about you guys? What have you all been asking Saint Nick for?
Me personally, I just want my two front teeth back. That's a Canadian joke.
Aw.
Yeah. Well, leave the married women alone, and maybe never mind. We don't need to go down that road.
Oh man, if I fucked with married women, I'd be dead. I'm 135 pounds. There's not much I could do to defend myself.
Oh, stand up. Where's me bloody bike?
Come again.
Yeah, I wish we had Kiri here to help translate that one tonight. I'm sure it was funny.
Have we not got the translator switched on?
Yeah. Oh, God darn it. Yeah, the stupidest thing I've seen so far this week, but I got to hand it to you, Spaceman. That one took the cake, but mine only comes in a very distant second. Was Riley once again moving the goalpost by trying. He apparently got tired of the gas pressure is not the same thing as atmospheric pressure and gotten tired of being debunked over it. And now he's trying to claim that the atmosphere has no weight.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, that's the latest one. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, that one took the cake. I think Blue Marble Science has already debunked that. He beat me to it, but that's okay. You know, something that stupid has got to get whacked.
Well, and okay, now this in itself doesn't debunk the weight claim, but it does debunk the difference in pressure claim. Like when I was in New Mexico last week, I was up in Rio Rancho, and Rio Rancho is about a mile above sea level. Now, Winnipeg, if I remember correctly, is about 743 feet, roughly, above sea level. So when I was there, I was really tired just due to lack of oxygen. And then, because Jay, that I was with, his road went up to Santa Fe, which is 7,000 and something feet above sea level. And so when you're going from a mile to another half mile above sea level, I was so fucking tired by the time I got there. And then when I came back to Winnipeg, because Winnipeg's so low, I was up until 11 o'clock in the morning when I got back, just from the difference in pressure in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I know what Riley's trying to do with that. He's trying to get into this circular reasoning loop that no matter what you say to him, he's got a comeback. So I saw in his comment section that somebody basically gave him a real easy little experiment. Weigh a balloon, empty, and then blow it up and then weigh it again. You know, why has that measurement changed? Well, because the air in the balloon has mass, therefore it has weight. And he came back with, but you have to have a container. You know, now that's starting to get into that circular reasoning feedback loop. You know, so it is like, you know what? It isn't going to hold water, except for the morons who are already buying into the bullshit.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, because I think this was Blue's either his latest video or one of his latest videos, and he was actually talking about that, where he was saying how gas doesn't have weight, because I forget the reason. I was at a motel at the time, just kind of getting ready to go to the bar and drink. I had it playing in the background, and it's just like I heard that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like if it didn't have mass, it would be traveling at the speed of light. So please, just tell me how it doesn't have mass. I would love to hear Riley's scientific explanation of that.
Yeah, you'll be waiting around a while. Anybody else got anything to add in the what have you seen lately that's completely stupid discussion before we move on to our main event?
Yeah, for me, it's one word: Twitter. My fucking God, it has gone fucking batshit crazy on there the last few days.
Oh, I've got no idea what's going on Twitter. I'm not on there usually, but when I am, it's usually some weird drama and other crap.
I mean, it all starts with one question. Okay, where's your citation? And good gods, the shitstorm that falls from that one.
But dude, we're not gonna hold you by the hand and do your homework for you.
Oh, that's worse. You'd be talking about, like, we'll say the bendy water thing. And you're like, okay, well, where's your citation? Oh, well, show me a picture of the Earth without a cartoon. Okay, completely different subject, but where's your citation? You just get it's that constantly.
Yeah, my favorite. There's a bit like a guy that I have a conversation with pretty much on a daily basis. He's a religious flirt called the Great Believer, but he spells it GR and the number 8 believer. You should look him up.
Oh no, I'm already blocked by him.
He always blocked you. He hasn't blocked me. I don't know why. Maybe he just thinks I'm fun. But you know, his common one is about sort of all fake. Space is fake. We didn't land on the moon and stuff like that, as well as a few bits of sort of flat Earth stuff and anti-gravity stuff and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, I advise you go and look him up because he's so easy to debunk and he's quite fun to sort of poke at and things like that.
Nice.
I've been going at him for probably for months on different subjects.
Well,
What about you, Barman? You got anything else to add?
Oh, I saw Barnabas Nagy. I can't remember if I said this on Thursday or not. Barnabas Nagy was talking how internet undersea cables don't work because his Cat 5 cable can't take internet more than 100 meters.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So it's called Ethernet because obviously all the internet goes through the ether.
Did he seriously say that? Really?
Yes, twice or 3 times.
God.
Oh, good lord.
It was very nearly tonight's video.
Oh, goodness. Well, before we start looking at our main event videos, let's turn to Aimee and see what's going on in the live chat.
Sure, I've got a couple good comments here for you. The Triax 666 says the military-industrial complex is a front for multinational corporations whose sole purpose is to conspire against Michael Jackson's monkey. Purple rhymes with orange. Blow a flat earther's mind. Fill a glass to the very top. Add a couple drops and get them to look close. They see the surface tension actually forms a dome above the rim of the glass.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
Don't be
dun.
telling them that, man. Jesus.
That's awesome. Really good stuff. And let's try Monkey one more time. I see he's still in the voice chat, but he is still on mute. But Monkey, if you can hear me, unmute yourself and let's say hi. And if not, maybe we'll just get to the debunking of the stupid. Monkey.
Monkey.
Okay,
What I'm
everybody.
concerned about is the more quieter that monkey is, the more amount of excrement he's building up to fling everywhere. And that takes a while to clean.
I get nervous when Monkey gets quiet. It's kind of like if anybody has had teenagers raising children, you know, all of a sudden the house goes quiet for more than 5 minutes. You wondering what's going to happen, what's going to explode. You know, when is Jason gonna jump out of the closet? I don't know. It's scary as hell when they go quiet.
Yeah. Well, I've never had a teenager before, but I've been a teenager, so. Yeah, I agree with that.
I have one, and I know exactly what you mean, Logical. I know precisely what you mean.
I'm still a teenager, so yeah.
But me and Aimee and the rest of the team is really trying hard to civilize our little Kiwi, but it is a full-time job. But what do you guys say? You want to get over to looking at Right the Hand and whack him a few times?
Yeah, let's look at some dumb.
Alrighty, Tatty, if you've got that stupid footage handy, let's take a lookie.
Okay, folks, hold on to your hats, and I take no responsibility for any injuries.
Tatty, I'm blaming you 100%. You fucking know that, buddy.
Right hand. So yesterday we talked about these bouncing balls and how they can't bounce forever. Check that video out. So here I found another contradiction with the model. So you have two problems because you have to say X or Y and they contradict each other. So X would be there's enough space for the atoms to bounce around so they can move freely without hitting each other, gain enough speed, and get up to 1,000 miles per hour. The problem with that is you need a lot of empty space in order to get up to speed. And this is where this model just falls apart. So if you were on this subway and I said run to the other side of the subway, you wouldn't be able to move. You would have to slowly wiggle your way over to the other side, never reaching any type of velocity because of all of the other stuff that is blocking you. Now, if they're going to tell you that the air is atoms and they are packed together enough where we don't have a vacuum, then they don't have enough room to move. It's either balls bouncing in the jar or the jar is stuffed with balls and they're not bouncing. You can't have it.
Let's pause that right there.
Yeah,
So
Okay, first off, the molecular structures of atoms means there's a lot of empty space on the molecular level. And two, the atmosphere is a gas, not a solid. It's going to be able to move much like a liquid moves, just a lot more freely. It's, this analogy of the balls in a jar makes no sense because the balls are they're solid. They're not a gas, they're not a liquid.
Yeah, and that just... So, go ahead.
No, you're the guest, mate. You go first.
I was going to say, yeah, like Logical was saying there, it's just, yeah, it's not solid. They aren't, like, with air, it's not compressed and packed together like that. It's freely moving. That's why it's air. If it wasn't doing that, it wouldn't be, a gas. It's like you stick your hand out of a car, you can feel the air in your hand. But if you're in water, you can feel liquid on your hand. And while it's similar, there's a big difference in terms of resistance because it's a lot more packed together. And then a solid, you ain't going nowhere. And I think he fails to understand that.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I still kind of learn about this stuff as well. But don't some atoms actually repel from each other? Do they not?
I think. Yeah. Positive. Positive and negative charges within the electrons and protons and ions. Then are, I think. Oh God, I'm not a chemist, but the ions I think are negatively charged and they repel. Which is kind of where you get lightning from.
No, so we get different types of bonding within chemical or within sort of like mixtures themselves, because you've got covalent bonding, which is shared electrons, and you've got metallic bonding, which is, as it sounds, in metals, and then you've got ionic bonding, whereby due to the dispersion of the electrons within the atom, the outer shells can either be negative or positively charged, and they attract the negative or positive charge of other atoms, and that's what holds the molecules together.
A bit like when I'm attracted to a turd.
He made it. He finally wrestled that gremlin into submission.
Oi, oi, people.
Oi, oi, Jutmonk.
Oi, oi, Mr. Punchings. Punched any fucking lords out lately?
A couple. They're lipping off to me. I just figured, so...
Yeah, well, fucking Christ, can fuck off. Punch him in the face.
Damn right.
Well, he can't, he's gone, isn't he? He's dead. No, he's long gone, has Lord Jesus Christ, so you can't go punching him, okay?
Well, I'm glad you made it there, Monkey.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm glad I made it too. And talking of Christ, it's Christmas. What are we doing for Christmas, guys? We having a Christmas party? Christmas stream? We should.
I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah, I reckon. We could do something, couldn't we? Maybe not on Christmas Day, but...
Yeah, but that would actually be a really interesting stream if you could find, say, some Christmas conspiracy videos or something.
Well, Christmas is a hoax.
Everything's a hoax, though.
Or what you could do is just like the very, very first ever Shills. You could just join the panel and just everybody get drunk and talk crap. That'd be fun.
Hey,
we do that.
I like that.
We do that every week.
Oh, okay. You don't always get drunk though. Most of you are pretty sober these days.
Yeah, no, I know. We've gone up in the world. I just got all my microphones and everything through today. It looks absolutely awesome. So thank you to every single one of you that's watching now, that supports us, even just watches us. We love you all, and This is awesome.
Have you got your microphone set up? Yep.
It's set up, but I needed just to get 2 adapters before I can use it. So it's all set up so it looks good. Yeah. I just can't talk at it yet.
What adapters do you need?
I need the 3mm to 3/4 inch jack adapter. I have them, but they're at the ex-misses. And I need to get a USB adapter as well. Electric one, apparently, Dick said.
Yeah, we'll get all that squared away, and like Jeff said, everybody that's supporting the channel is really helping us upgrade our sound equipment, and mine will be in hopefully by Monday, and I'll finally start sounding like I'm supposed to sound instead of this little tin can thing that I'm using currently. But before we go on to any more debunking and really lose track of where we're at, let's turn to Aimee and see if anything's going on in the live chat yet.
Yes, I have some good comments again. Caddyshack Wizard says 99% of this dipshit's body is empty space. Ugly German Truth says solid basically means you can squeeze it with pincers. Liquids and gases will not hold in that scenario. Solids will. And then Purple Rhymes with Orange says atoms can have a positive or negative charge. Particles with like charges repel each other.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yep. Well, let's see if Tatty can give us some more of this silly nonsense from right to hand, and let's give him a few more whacks with the good old club of logic and reason.
Yeah, let's see this.
How can those gas particles not have a vacuum of nothingness between them so that they can bounce around, yet still be tightly packed together enough so that it's a cohesive medium? It contradicts itself. It's even much more believable that the balls are rolling along themselves like gears, or basically like those but smaller and not bouncing. That's why there's no actual pressure, or you don't feel anything on your surface of your skin, because it's just resting there. It's not applying 14 pounds of pressure that we've gotten used to.
Whoa.
Pause that shit.
Fuck, are you kidding me? If it wasn't bouncing off your skin, there wouldn't be a pressure created in the first place. That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
That's the whole point of a pressure, isn't it? Isn't that how you measure pressure?
Yes, because it bounces off of things. You measure it with some sort of container or some sort of force that can that it bounces off of, and you use that to measure the force of it, the pressure of it.
And also, how can you sit there and say, "Well, we can't feel it bouncing off our skin"? Well, we can't feel ourselves spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, pal, but we fucking well are.
Well, and that's why I'll bring it up again. It's the whole car argument. If you're in a car with the window open, stick your hand in the window. You can damn well feel that fucking pressure being your hand hitting the outside air, depending on the speed you're going, and it'll throw your hand back a little bit unless you counteract it. It's not fucking rocket science.
I'm going to have to dispute that thing about the spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, because we're not.
No, we're
spinning.
We're rotating at 15 degrees per hour.
Yeah, I know, but they say 1,000 miles an hour, and at the equator it is just over that, you know.
But that would only be relative to a fixed point, though. Speed is only relative. When you talk about things spinning, you don't talk about it in miles per hour, because it gives the impression that we're.
They do.
They do. Yeah. But there's another thing as well.
I was talking down onto their level, because they're saying we can't feel the fucking air pressure. Well, you wouldn't, would you? Because you're used to it.
Yeah. But going back to what Right the Hand was saying, I forgot to mention it earlier on when he was talking about this. If I asked you to walk through this crowded train platform to get one from side to the other, but since when do you ever get one atom that just wants to go in a straight line from one side of a container of some description to the other anyway? I mean, particularly in a gas, they're all just bouncing about and moving about freely. Exactly what Logical was saying, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And his argument here, I don't know if you guys caught or not, but he's talking about there is no 14.7 psi pressing down on you at sea level. You know what? Unless the wind's blowing, no, you're not going to feel that, because that's how our bodies are designed. But if he's so confident in that assertion, let's put him in a vacuum chamber and slowly start to evacuate that PSI down and down and down. And I'll be nice to him. I'll give him a breathing apparatus so he doesn't suffocate. But let's see how far down that goes on the PSI scale before his body starts to do really weird things because it needs that air pressure.
Or
Couldn't we do the opposite and force a load of pressure in until he can feel it and just keep on going
that might
until
be
he
more
says, "Stop, I
amusing."
can feel it now," and just go, "Sorry, but I've broken the switch."
I was just gonna say that. I say, how about rather than deplete the air, let's throw him into the water and just put him further and further and further down until that basically kills them, and say, hey, listen, how's that pressure doing now?
Well, that's not really going to work, is it? Because if he's killed, if you've just killed him, and then you turn around and say, "Hey, listen," he ain't going to listen, is he?
I don't want to see any of them get killed, but I'm just saying, if you think you're that confident in your assertion, here's a challenge for you,
No, that's why I said basically killed. So the point where it's like they're dying from it. It's like, yeah, you want back to regular standard temperature and pressure? Okay. Yeah.
So that's a Miracle Max sort of thing. He's not all dead. He's only mostly dead.
Well, I tell you what, I can speak to my friends at NASA. I mean, NASA have got a nice big vacuum chamber. We could, probably use that. I could speak to my friend Jim Bridenstine and put him in there and lower it down to almost zero torque. Yeah, that'd be fun. Watch his
how about negative pressure?
Would his blood boil?
No.
Shame.
No,
Be weird, wouldn't it?
But his ears will pop first and he'd go deaf, and then his organs would start to fail.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So either way, it's not going to be very comfortable.
His lungs would go pretty soon after his ears pop, and then his heart will stop.
Yeah. And I thought when we first paused this, I heard the crowd cheer of a super chat. So let's turn over to Aimee and see what that was all about, and if she has other things from the live chat that anybody wants to get in on this.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I have. John Rapp gave us Australian $5, and he says, "Good day from down under. A Christmas show sounds great. I'd like a new Alienware laptop and microphone, or a Christmas card." Thank you so much, John.
Thank you very much, John. You rock. Like, all of you rock. Even the dumbass, globe-denying fucktards. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you dumb fucks.
Yeah, they do give us something to do. Aimee, is there any other comments you wanted to throw our way before we move on with more stupid?
Not yet, but I'm sure there will be some good ones coming.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. John. We always appreciate your attending, whether or not you hand us a gift, but we do appreciate that as well. Tatty, what do we got for more stupid here?
Speaking of pressure, yes, you can measure pressure with a barometer, even tire pressure. Yeah, I would love to see that. Zanuck 3.0. This is how you know this guy's a troll retard. He's like probably some shitty program, or he's just being told to just go in there 24/7 and just spew nonsense to keep this bullshit story going. Alright, so in their model, the atoms are bouncing, and I asked how they don't stop. This guy says heat equilibrium. Can you demonstrate the physical properties of matter that would allow bouncing balls on one side of a wall to continue bouncing because of the balls hitting the other side of the wall? And what is heat?
Pause a second. For anyone that's ever had any debates with Right the Hand, particularly on Discord, as used to when he was on because he talks about, can you demonstrate this and demonstrate that, but if you ask him any time for anything he says, for any kind of evidence that disproves or proves anything, he's got absolutely nothing every single time. He provides nothing because it's all just because reasons.
Well, that's a standard operating procedure for globe-denying idiots.
Yeah, I'd like to say to him, just demonstrate that you have at least one brain cell.
Yeah, but him were just more than most people, and he just complains that we never demonstrate it, except for we spend all the time demonstrating stuff to him, but he can't demonstrate anything back. And he literally, he's worse than most flirfs. Flirfs, you can get some sort of bullshit answer out of them. It's still bullshit, but he comes out where you can provide absolutely nothing, and I mean literally nothing.
I still reckon he's a fucking troll anyway.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I've had it with him before. 4 hours of asking him where's his citation, essentially. I can't remember what it was about, but
Yeah.
he will come up with every excuse under the sun as to why he can't provide it, and then will try and fire as many insults your way as he can while making himself look even more stupid. And that is literally his MO.
I will correct you. He'll find every reason not to provide the evidence. Not that he can't. He said he'll give every excuse not to provide the evidence.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I meant. So he'll try everything to avoid presenting whatever evidence he has, which of course is none because it's all made up in his head. Or Eric Dubé told him to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't even need a barometer to demonstrate the air pressure gradient of the atmosphere. Before I went back to college, most people know that I was an over-the-road truck driver, and one of my favorite little things to do, just for giggles, was to take my empty water bottle at the top of the mountain, open it up, close it nice and tight, and then watch it crush as I went down the mountain. Or in the other direction, open it up down at the base of the mountain, and as I climbed the mountain, watch it expand until the top popped off.
Cool.
Oh, that would have been cool to watch.
Because you know what? I mean, I think with Right the Hand, because he does dodge, like, as you say, any citation, you ask for any kind of evidence, he dodges it. I bet if you said to him, that piss is evidence, he'd fucking drink it.
I'll tell you what, if we all chipped in, maybe if the whole community chipped in, we could probably possibly get him a helicopter ride to the top of Mount Everest and just dump him there for an hour and see how long he lasts.
Yeah, and go, don't worry about it. Air pressure's bullshit, mate. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Him not be all right.
Aimee, did I hear the crowd cheer for something?
Actually, they did. We had a super chat. We got one from Surf for $2 American. He says your amount and message will be public. I love it. And
appreciate you, Surf.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for that. That's wonderful. Graham Price says, doesn't extreme low pressure pull your organs out through your arsehole? And then the worst is these fucktard flurfoids can't even grasp the absolute fact that the pressure difference between where we're all sat right now and deep space is a factor of just one atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. And like Riley and these other morons that try that argument that you can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum. Well, they're thinking in terms of the 14.7 at sea level. It's not. It's, you got the space, which is 10 to the minus 17th torr, which is not a negative number, sitting next to 10, the top layer of the atmosphere, which is basically 10 to the minus 16th torr. I mean, that's such a minuscule amount. At that point, it's to be almost non-existent.
I don't understand what they can't grasp. It's fucking easy, and it makes sense. What is wrong with these people?
I would say, to be fair, these people are that stupid that they are willing to go out in public and proclaim that they think the world is flat. I mean, I've whacked myself on the head a few times, and not even I would be willing to do that.
Well, I mean, Mike Tyson's now just come out as a fucking flat earther, hasn't he? And I reckon that must be due to being pounded in the head over many years.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I was going to say, yeah, he's been punched in the head just a few times, but that means at least he's got an excuse for being stupid. The others don't.
It is quite funny, you'll notice this. You'll get all these celebrities will come out as these, flat earthers and stuff like that, or anti-vaxxers and that. They're always these celebrities. They actually never see a scientist doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's strange how that works, eh?
Or one of the astronauts that's been to the moon. You don't get them coming out saying the Earth's flat, do you?
Yeah, funny.
But don't you all find it funny how these people that are educated in these specific fields and have a lot of education in those fields, they don't ever say that because they know what the fuck they're talking about. Then you get some people that are I guess like popular, like in pop culture, like in just the main ins and outs of television and media, and people always seem to believe them. Like even the one guy that I know that is a flat earther, he even said, "Oh, well, this person," and then he started an actor or whoever it was, I forget who now. He's like, "That person says that the Earth is flat." I'm like, why does that matter? Like, do you think that if you make X amount of dollars, all of a sudden everyone tells you, by the way, now you're a celebrity and we're going to tell you all the secrets that we don't want anyone else to know? It's like, no, it's because they're fucking stupid. That's not what their job is. Like,
Yeah, the celebrities are just entertainers. That doesn't make them smart. They're just as smart or dumb as their educational level and their willingness to learn will allow them to be. I thought I heard another crowd cheer. Aimee, let's see what that was about.
Yeah, I saw that too. But yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, we do.
Yep.
Okay, good. Thanks. Yeah, I don't see anything that came through. It was just the one that I had read earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, is there any comments that need to be read out while you're here?
No, I think that was the last ones I read out were good. So, okay.
Okay. Anybody else want to have their last 2 cents on this before we roll the stupid footage?
Well,
again?
yeah, I was gonna pose the question like, so we leave school, we're educated, and I imagine people that are famous, not all of them are obviously can be hugely educated, but you can't be that stupid. And I just wonder how you suddenly, at say the age of 32 years of age, think, no, I was wrong all these years. The Earth's flat.
And before we get going on with that beautiful stupid footage, I just noticed that Steaming Cup of Reason has wrestled his internet demons down into submission and has joined us in the voice chat. Hi, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Yay, Jeff.
Made it.
I can sleep better tonight knowing that you're here to save us.
We have got another super chat.
Yeah, well, I had to bitch slap Google around a bit, but here I am.
Okay, there's a fellow
Good
Canadian
to see you, boys.
I'm also happy.
Punchy! Punchy is here. Cool. Awesome. You're not going to faceplant on your keyboard this time, are you?
I will try not to.
Cool, man. Hey, Flatter.
Hey, my bro.
How you doing, man?
Oh, well, I was telling you guys earlier about our that little season finale we put together. They were asking about the next one coming out on that.
Oh, that's going to be happening soon, boys. Don't you worry. Flatter and I are on the case. Nice. Hey, Jut, how you doing, man? How's my best furry little friend?
Great, mate. I'm loving it. Great to be here, isn't it? Amongst wonderful people.
Awesome. So what did I miss, man? What did I miss?
Just an idiot talking shit.
Yeah, he just missed right the hand. Well, he actually didn't miss him. We're just in the middle of him. Saying stupid shit.
You gotta rephrase that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Monkey, if I stepped on you. I think I might have a few seconds of latency going on here. I didn't do that on purpose.
No, don't step on me, mate. I was just saying when he said, have you missed anything? And I said, no, just an idiot speaking shit, but I'll shut up now.
Okay. Well, let's get Jeff into this party with Right the Hand, and let's roll some more of that beautiful, stupid footage.
What a bloody good idea.
Do it.
What is the heat that comes off of two atoms when they hit? What gets hot? The two atoms? Can someone explain what is getting hot, please? Because if heat is supposed to be released from the objects when they hit into the medium, but the objects are the medium, what the fuck are they releasing the heat into? Okay, I didn't bring this up yesterday, but I just thought of it. How do gas molecules constantly bounce? Go down to number 1. Strictly speaking, there are no perfectly elastic collisions between atoms and molecules. Some part of the energy momentum will be converted into photons. Photons is light. So if you have a jar of atoms of air hitting each other, they can convert all of that into light. So why isn't my jar of air glowing? Oh, right the hand, you don't understand. Okay, so if you're going to claim as a scientist that there is a pressure gradient, that means pressure, which is PSI, newtons, kilopascals, whatever you want to call it or measure it in, you have to measure it and give me a value. You can't have a gradient of not anything measured. You need 1 pound gradually increasing or decreasing to another value. So show me the measured value of 14.7 at sea level that will then gradient down. They'll say, look at a barometer. A barometer is not a pressure gauge showing me 14.7 pounds of pressure. It's liquid in a bubble tube. So you're saying there's a gradient, so you show me the measured value that gradually
This. Everybody's chomping at the bits.
I was trying to keep my fucking mouth shut, but okay, when it comes to the whole pressure thing, that is the most stupid thing that I've ever fucking heard in my life. Like,
oh no,
okay,
kidding.
The easiest way just to gauge it is, okay, if you're in an airplane, like a commercial airplane with a big ass long wing, look at that fucking wing flop and move around as you're taking off. Once you get to cruising altitude, unless you're in turbulence, but if you're not in turbulence, like just look at how flat it stays. It doesn't flop around. If you're landing or taking off, that thing will fucking flop around like a motherfucker. I would love to know why he would think that it's different. And on top of that, I would love to know why, for the love of God, if there isn't a pressure gradient and if the sun is close and not super far away, why in the hell does it drop down to like minus 60 degrees when you're at cruising altitude? Please tell me. I would just love to know.
Yeah, Jeff, I heard you kind of screaming to get in there too. What do you got to say about this?
I can't believe the stupid of this guy. I mean, oh God. It's like when she said, you're in a goddamn commercial airliner, you're flying at 38,000 feet. I fucking defy you to open that fucking door, step out and tell me your head doesn't near explode and you can't choke to death. Fucking moron. Oh, God. I jumped out of airplanes for a living when I was in the military. I'm telling you, the first thing that happens when you jump out is your fucking ears pop like a motherfucker.
Well, I could only imagine.
Because of the reduced pressure.
Yeah. And on top of that, too, what was I going to say here? Shit, I was going to say something I forget now. I forget. This sounds good. I might remember.
And I just got to notice in the background that we got an extra special something just happened in the live chat, and I'll turn that over to the Casual Spaceman to announce that.
Yeah, well, the Shills has just got a new member, C4. So yeah, thank you very much, C4. But also, I wanted to mention it as well because C4 just recently become a new Patreon of my channel as well. So really appreciate you, C4. You're fantastic. Thank you very, very, very much indeed. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we appreciate you, C4.
Yes, thank you so much
aboard,
for that.
C4. Happy
And
to
Aimee, did you get anything from the live chat elsewise?
Yes, too. I have a super chat from Surf for American $2. Nothing to read here. And then I had a comment here too. Ugly German Truth said, "Why would atoms bouncing off of each other be elastic collisions? It's electric potentials repelling each other, or similar nuclear force effects. Nothing like the macroscopic world at all."
Yeah, and I was thinking when he was making that stupid statement, not when Bright Dan was making that stupid statement about heat exchange. No, it's kind of when the atoms get more excited, we talk about it as being heat. They will just simply move faster. You know, who here has not been in 40 degrees Celsius temperature, jumped in a swimming pool, got out and started to shiver? Well, guess what? That's you losing heat to the atmosphere, you know, and it's kind of just the way it works.
Yeah, although fun fact, from what I've seen at least, the reason that we shiver is because when you're cold, your body tries to make friction to heat itself up, and that's why you shiver. And you go,
yeah. Yeah, but this guy acts like if it's 40 degrees Celsius, 90-something degrees Fahrenheit, you shouldn't be shivering. God damn it, it's hot. Duh.
Exactly. Well, and I think it was Spurs as well that said that pardon me, that pressure isn't the pressure doesn't change as you go up. It just it doesn't change because of the weight of the air. It changes because of the temperature.
No, he's got that backwards.
No, I know. I'm saying I think because Spurs is a flat earther, and he said that. It's like Spurs, buddy. When it's 30 degrees out and my house is hot as shit, how come I can reach into my freezer and grab something and it's the exact same pressure as everything else that's not in the freezer?
Yeah, the atmosphere doesn't work like an HVAC system the way your air conditioners and refrigerator freezers do.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, sort of, but not exactly.
yeah, I mean, obviously, if it gets colder, it will, in theory, be more dense. Like it will be more compact, but not the way they think of it. It's like, yeah, and on top of that, if something contains water, like basically any living thing, it'll only get so dense up until I think it's 4 degrees Celsius. After that, it starts to expand, become less dense.
Anybody else got anything to add to this round of stupid before we move on? Barman, I haven't heard your voice for a minute.
I'm good. Everyone keeps bringing up all the points. I'm like, we're all good here. Right hand just brain numbs me as well. He's just so fucking stupid.
All right, back to Mario Brothers, you guys.
Yeah. I tell you what, there, Barman, since
just go and play with his right hand.
Yeah, Barman gets the next first dibs on the next debunk since everybody's been stealing his points. I can know how that could be.
I think he might have a good chance for DFOTY next year.
Hey, tell you one thing, Punchy, though. I think you actually do seem to know your science, to be honest with you, and I think you should start making videos, dude. I really do.
Pardon me?
Hey, hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I missed all of that.
Punchy is a po.
Punchy.
Here, I'll translate it into Canadian, eh? He says that you're really smart, and you need to make some videos, eh?
Well, that's nice of him. Sorry, just when he spoke earlier, other people were talking and had some stuff going on, so I kind of missed what he said. But thank you, that's nice of you. But honestly, for me, it's just what I've learned from this community and just some middle school education, honestly. So.
Yeah, it doesn't take any more than, middle school science to debunk these morons. But while we're at it, let's see what else he's got to say.
Increases or increases. Thank you. All right, we're going to wrap it up with this retard again. All right, so what's heating the jar, or what is keeping the atoms moving inside of the bouncing jar? The warm air around that glass. But the warm air around that glass is atoms hitting the outside of the walls of the container. So how does that speed up the bouncing balls inside? And if that's what you think is happening, then demonstrate the physics of that in reality for me, please.
What?
Oh boy.
Pause. How the hell are you supposed to demonstrate atoms moving around in that way? You see, this is his typical sort of thing. He does that. I mean, what does he want us to actually do on a chat? Is demonstrate how atoms are actually physically doing that, and that's what he wants. I mean,
and that's the problem with a lot of flat earthers. They want people to physically demonstrate something that you just can't show, within, like, say, a lab, right? Like, I've seen so many flat earthers.
Like water on the spinning ball.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whether they're posed or not, I don't know. But we'll say things like, like you said, show water on a spinning ball, or like, show something like a ball, like something roughly spherical with water sticking to it. And I'm like, you understand that? Well, they don't understand that, but so you guys, the ball has to have a certain mass to start having an actual gravitational pull. And on top of that, below us, there's this thing that is way fucking much more massive than what we can hold in our hands. So what you're asking for is fucking stupid. Like.
Yeah, and Aimee just booked me before we move on to Flatter and Barman. Let's hear from Aimee and see what she's got to say, and then we'll get Barman and then Flatter in.
Yes, please. I have a super chat from John Rapp, Australian $5. I'm appealing for a new word, a teasing, somewhat derogatory descriptor for the total lack of understanding of science and maths by deniers in general. So he's asking for a whole new word, and then we have a thank you so much, John Rapp. And then Graham Price says, I knew Spurs was an idiot or a po when he said the reason everybody has their ears pop due to the pressure when flying was bad health or people lying about it. And then Purple Rhymes with Orange says it will be more dense. So does that mean flat earthers are colder than intelligent people?
Is that it for the comments then, Aimee?
Yes, please.
Okay, Barman, you're up at bat.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. No matter what is explained to him, it's no, that can't be right. Why? Because I said so. Okay, look, we'll explain it as simply as possible. This, and that. No. So, okay then. Right, why don't you explain something? Here you go. Dome. Prove there's a dome. It's just there. It's like, what? There's a dome. Yeah, prove it. It's just there. You have to take my word on it. Fuck my life. I don't want to hit you in the dick.
It's as simple as this. Do your own fucking research. Research Flat Earth and watch some fucking Phuket fuckstain word.
Yeah.
Oh man, Phuket word.
Case of like, you want a demonstration? Well, then show me a photograph of the entire flat Earth, please, or show me a photograph of the ice wall, or show me some sample data of the dome. Right, then I'll start to believe you. Until then, shut up.
But do you know what makes me laugh? When they say, "Well, look at this amateur footage that shows the Earth's flat." Still can't see no fucking ice wall though.
Yeah.
But don't you find it funny how you can show them pictures of the Earth from space, like non altered photos, like nothing, like no
Thousands of
CGI.
them.
Like and in this case, I'm referring to the Himawari 8, which takes the East Coast, right? And isn't it funny how you've heard of this one channel, Wade's Underworld?
Yeah, we know Wade's.
Yeah, and so he lives in Australia, right? So for him, the camera does take pictures like where he lives, and he's had many videos where he compares the cloud patterns and all that to where he lives, like from the satellite to where him on the ground, and it's always matched up every single time. And it's like, isn't that funny how either they're lying, but they're also very, very, very good at predicting the weather, or another option, maybe they're just telling the fucking truth and none of it's a fucking lie to begin with.
Yep, exactly. Flatter, what do you got to say about all this?
Well, I'm going to go back to John Rapp's super chat because he wanted a word about the lack of understanding for science and math and stuff like that. We have a term for those people. We call them wank spanners.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly. And what
I
about
like that word, wank spanner. Where did you get that from?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some monkey was hanging off a tree throwing a piece of crap at me.
Yeah.
What, calling you a wank spanner? You know how to shut that fucking monkey up. Give him some Marmite.
Yeah, let's check in with Jeff, since he's a bit of a latecomer to the show, and make sure he gets his say too. Jeff, what do you got for us?
All I got to say is right the hand is the dumbest fuck on planet Earth. And somebody ought to tell him to use his left hand so at least it feels like somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, Right the Hand in the early days of this channel was arguing with me on Discord one time and trying to use the water sticking to the outside of a spinning ball. Show me this in practical, real-life application. Of course, he wouldn't accept that. Well, look down at your fucking feet, right? You're standing on it. No. So when I said, hey, look, the soccer balls and the footballs, they don't have enough of the mass to make it stick because of gravity, because the Earth's gravity is going to overpower it, right? And he says, so basically what you're asking me to do is build a planet and put water in it. He says, that's not my problem. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's typical Flurf, man. Ask for the fucking impossible, then blame you for not being able to do it and claim victory.
Yeah,
Also,
it's asking for shit that you can't provide because we're living on a goddamn planet. I think the best explanation for this sort of line of reasoning I've ever heard was from 1 Minute Debunk when he was talking about evolution. These morons ask for things that shouldn't be there and then complain when they're not there.
Oh, and the best thing is to lodge there. They complain if they're not there, but they also complain if it is there. Like they will ask for, give me evidence of the globe, and we can give not evidence, but we can give them actual proof of the globe with pictures of the Earth from space. And they say, oh, it's CGI, and they always say, show me one real picture of the Earth from space, and it's like, dummy, we have millions of them.
Yeah, you just don't want to believe them.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a classic thing. Another thing they actually tend to do as well is that there was another argument I had with Ali B, and he said, "Well, what's happening when I strike a match, right? What's going on there with the light and all the rest of it?" I said, "Well, first of all, when you strike that match, that's a chemical reaction because a flame is a chemical reaction, right? And the energy that's coming off it is radiation, and it's in the way of heat and light. But the only thing he could respond with, oh, you're all flipping dumb. You need to go back to school." But then when I said to him, well, what's the explanation of it then? He couldn't provide anything. But we're dumb for giving him an answer that he demanded. You know what I mean? And that's just another classic Ali B anyway, you know. So
yeah, well, and that's why for me personally, when I see flat earthers in the side chat, I just don't even bother talking to them because it's the same stupid shit all the time. Every single time they come on, caps lock on, just going, how can water stick to a spinning ball? Or like, how come, people in Australia aren't falling down into space? Or like, how come this or that? And it's like, buddy, there are so many fucking channels that explain it in every possible way, shape, and form, depending on the channel. And if you are too stupid to believe that, or too dishonest to believe that, that's not my fucking problem. And so, yeah, at this point, I just don't even talk to them. If they just come on the channels, I just let them fucking say their shit, and yeah.
Yeah. So, how about you, Amy? Do you got anything to say about the stupid in general? Anything from the live chat that we need to know about, or just opinions of your own?
Just an opinion of my own. This guy really doesn't even know basic science. I mean, that's really bad. I've been out of school for a long time, and I still remember some of it. And I'm sitting here thinking, nope, he's wrong. Nope, he's wrong.
And who is that, Amy?
Yeah, and I think they do it on purpose. I think that's what he's doing because I honestly don't think that deep down they believe half the crap that they say. I honestly don't. Not. I know. And welcome, Jeff and Punchy. Glad to have you on.
Hey, thanks.
Hi, Amy. I've only been here for an hour and a half now.
Well, you're talking so much there. You're talking so much, Punchy. She couldn't get a word in edgewise. And before,
Amy knows I love her. Yeah, actually, funny enough, because Amy and where we live, we get a lot of snow for both of our places. So we happen to have a little contest this year, and I happen to call it a snow off, or no, sorry, a snow down, like a showdown. Yes. So I'm clever like that. Yeah. And she's winning right now.
I am right now.
I know better than to challenge Amy to anything because she might be smarter than me, but she's tougher than me, and I'm pretty sure she can kick my rear.
Oh, I'm pretty damn sure that if she wanted to, she could kick all of our asses.
Agreed. She normally beats me with a stick in the background doing Discord when no one else is around.
When no one's looking.
That's just part of your process of civilizing you, Flatter. That's all. And I perfectly condone that. Tatty,
that's how Tatty keeps going because Amy's in the background beating him with a stick to do the presentation.
Some of us will let her do it because we like it.
Oh god! But anyway, Tatty doesn't usually get to put his 2 cents worth in. But you know what? He's always got good things to say when he does. So, Tatty, what's your opinion of this moron thus far, and then how much is left of this particular video?
Well, I'll answer that in reverse order if you don't mind. You'll be happy to hear that video is done.
Oh, yeah.
Funny that Punchy mentioned Himawari because there's going to be a late change of video. We have been nominated something by the lovely Colon to do with roughly that subject of the Himawari. So that one's lined up next for your delectation. But as for right the hand, more like no right in the fucking head. The boy is an absolute fucking plum.
Get in there. He is more than a fucking plum.
All right. Well, if that's the end of this particular video, we did really try hard to get Babes to do an idiot report for us this weekend, but she's been under the weather this week, and I think whatever she had, she's given to me, because I can kind of feel that dino flu starting to happen. But yeah, I don't need to whine and complain. You know, she hears enough of that. But anyway, let's go ahead and go around the room and give everybody's final thoughts on this particular stupid before we get into the next batch of stupid. Why don't we go ahead and start with Jutmonk? He's always got something good to say.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, a right the hand should do exactly that. Just fuck off and play with his right hand, because he's got absolutely nothing that makes any sense whatsoever that comes out of his mouth. He's full of shit, and I don't even believe that he's for real sometimes. So, absolute, complete, and utter bollocks. But while I'm here, I'd like to shout out. You know, I always like to shout out a few people, so I'd like to say, all right, me pet 69, like that number. Caddyshack Wizard, what a fucking name. Dark Knight, as always, good to see you. Surf, purple rhymes with orange. No, it fucking doesn't. Janie, DKG Custom, Graham Price, Joseph Grant, Ugly German Truths, and Chris Katsolis. And if I've missed anybody, sorry, but you know how it goes. And I tell you what, this fucking Streamlabs geezer's always commenting. Comments more than everyone else. So a big shout out to Streamlabs. Oi, you fucktard.
Is he a glow with denying fucktard as well? Do you think that's Streamlabs?
I don't think he fucking knows what he is.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely not a lab.
Or a stream.
Yeah. Well, so what's your wrap up on this one, Barman?
Oh, God. Much to the same as what Jutmonk said, but I think first we'll need to tell Right the Hand which one his right hand is, because I don't think he could actually figure that out, let alone anything else you fucking try and tell him.
Yeah, no kidding. Flatter, go ahead.
The right one. And I was just responding to Barman.
Okay, well,
I want to thank Right the Hand for coming up with some of the most stupidest shit that I've heard in the longest fucking time. He's actually made the people on Twitter sound slightly more intelligent, and that is a hell of a fucking thing to have done.
Oh, no kidding. You know what? My retirement was getting kind of boring until I found these morons, but they at least gave me something to do and they get me laughing, so that's all good. What about you, Jeff? Final thoughts on this round of stupid?
No, I pretty much said all I can say. I mean, this guy's an absolute idiot. He can't tell his dick from a fence post, but I'll tell you one thing, a fence post is more useful.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Let's see. We've heard from Barman, Flatter, Monkey, Aimee, Tattie. Oh, okay. Spaceman. And then we'll hear from Christ Puncher, and then we'll move on.
Well, I mean, you know, I think most of it's pretty much been said already, to be honest with you. But I mean, I was a little bit worried because when I heard what the video was going to be, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not very good with this kind of science stuff and atoms and molecules and gas pressure and all the rest of it. But then I come to realise I think I know a bit more than he does, and I'm terrible at it. But you know, I still learned some stuff from you guys. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So it keeps the stupid at bay, doesn't it?
I would think living in space and being a casual spaceman that gas pressure would be a serious going concern for you.
It would be a serious going concern. I understand the fundamentals and the basis of it, and that's all I need to float around in space.
Cool. Yeah, at least you got all those NASA engineers keeping you alive as you're in your orbit. Christ Puncher, final thoughts on this round of stupid?
Oh boy, my final thoughts to you guys. I've been drinking, and this is by far not your video, but the video we've been watching is one of the most stupid things I've ever fucking seen in my goddamn life. Like, what kind of fucking moron thinks that atoms are somehow smooshed together when they're in a gaseous state? And he compares it to a solid and says, oh, how can you squeeze through people on a subway? It's like, what the fuck, dude? Are you comparing people on a fucking subway to how gases act in a fucking sealed container? And I want to point out that I said sealed because guess what? Fucking dumb shits like Riley say, oh, how can gases not be contained within a container? Or sorry, how can they not be contained without a container? And it's like, well, Riley, hey, dumbass, Blue Marvel showed you that just fine and well, and then after that you went and said, oh, I didn't mean it's sealed in every direction, I just used the word container. It's like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, you're a fucking dumbass, and every fucking retard that fucking subs to you is a fucking piece of shit. And I don't know, I'm ranting here, but that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's all right.
And one thing that this idiot has failed to take into account, that anything can be compressed, whatever the state of matter is, including gases, and if you compress them far enough, you will get a pretty interesting reaction, much in the same way a diesel engine works. It doesn't have an ignition source. It ignites the diesel fuel simply by pressure. So if you put anything under enough pressure, you're going to get an interesting reaction. But if Christ Butcher, if you think this was the stupidest thing you've ever heard, I kind of doubt that, because if this is the video I think it is that was introduced by Colon that's loaded up, I think this might even top Right the Hand.
For fuck's sakes.
Let's have a look and see if my prediction's correct.
Oh, my pleasure, mate. My pleasure.
Welcome to episode 2 of Faking Space, now in our second season. Today we're going to focus on the Himawari geostationary satellite, which we're told is something like a mind-boggling 22,000 miles away from the Earth, sending us a real picture every 10 minutes. Did you know the Himawari ironically means sunflower? So, yeah, there's proof of the heliocentric sun worshippers model right there. So why are we picking on the Himawari today? Well, defenders of the heliocentric model love to point to the quote-unquote almost real-time images from the Himawari.
Holy fuck. God damn it.
Okay, who wants to go first? I heard you all yelling and screaming in the background.
Colin, why do you hate us so much?
Yeah, why you do this to us, man? Why you do this to us, man?
He knows I enjoy it.
Fuck.
Colon is an evil genius, and I, for one, appreciate him.
I don't see what's wrong. I don't see what's
doesn't...
wrong with fucking worshipping the sun. I love it.
The guy is too stupid to realize the beauty of that name. Sunflower. It's a fucking satellite. It captures the sun to live and work and do what it's supposed to do. That's where it gets its energy, just like you and me and every other living thing. You fucking moron!
Amen, brother.
I'd like to take him and fucking throw him at the sun.
No kidding.
Yeah, and which space agency launched the Himawari? Was that the Chinese or the Japanese? Which one? Japanese. Okay, well that explains a lot about why they named it Himawari, in English, sunflower. And if these idiots would actually try to understand a little bit about the culture who actually built the thing, launched it, and named it, that might actually understand why it has the name. And it has nothing to do with sun worshipping. But anyway, I thought I heard Flatter trying to jump in there.
No. Flatter said what he wanted to, and Flatter is still angry with Colin.
Yeah, well, suck it up. Grow some fuzz on them things, soldier. What about you, Jeff? Come on, let's hear what you got to say. I know you got a rant waiting.
I gotta. No. I don't want to. I don't want to break the internet, man.
Do it.
I don't want to do it and break the internet, man. Do it. Oh my fucking god, this guy. It's like Riley. Okay, I'd like to take a plunger from the biggest fucking hypodermic needle I can find, jam it in one of his ears, stick a fucking trumpet mouthpiece in the other fucking ear, blow like a motherfucker, and make that guy sound like the first human kazoo.
I tell you what, I've got something that's a lot more sense than what this guy's coming out with.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
Unbelievable.
Oh God! Has anybody else got anything to say, or do we need to turn over to Aimee?
Golden.
Oh, I think that I've got nothing because that was just. Oh.
Did it
Well,
blow
let's
you
check
away?
in with Aimee then.
Aimee?
Yes, yes.
Mwah.
We love you, Jut. Caddyshack Wizard says, "Who the fuck cares what they worship? I don't care what ceiling you talk to."
Oh, good one, man.
You always know comments are good when she's laughing so hard she can barely read them.
Well, in all fairness, Aimee is always laughing so hard she can barely read them.
That is true.
I'm dying over here. Plus, you guys going. I just.
But you know why? You know why, Aimee? You know why? Because we
Why is that?
fucking love you. Because you're the best.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone,
Thank you. I love you
on
guys
this
too.
stream, just tell Aimee that you love her. Just take 2
Oh.
seconds to say
Oh
that.
yeah, oh we love her. We love her.
you, Ames.
Hey, everybody in the side chat,
love
I
you
want
guys
you to
too.
mash the shit out of the flowers emoji
Yes.
for Aimee.
Everyone, just put
Thank you.
at the Shills, we love you, Aimee. And Aimee is spelled like this.
Yeah. Was that the only comment you wanted to throw at us, Aimee?
Yes, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm kind of drunk, so that's why I'm like this. But love you.
Oh, we've noticed. That's okay. What about you, Spaceman? Do you got something to add here before we move on with the stupid?
No, you guys have just all said it really. Just that first sentence that you said about being a sunflower. So freaking what? And what's the issue about it being 20-odd thousand miles away? So fucking what? There's a reason for it, because they need to see most of the southern hemisphere of that region of the Earth. That's the reason why. I mean, Jesus Christ! With the first 2 sentences he said, it's just what the hell.
Yeah, well, let's see what else he's got to say, and I'm sure we'll be able to slam on him some more. And by the way, thank you, Colin. I don't care if Flatter's pissed off at you. I love you, brother.
Yeah, fuck Flatter. Fucking guys in New Zealand just laughing at us because it's so far in the future. Thanks.
Well, roll that beautiful, stupid footage.
Himawaria is proof of a globular Earth, since it allegedly gives us a picture every 10 minutes, and the weather data seems to be, pretty current. Well, unfortunately for the ballers, we're going to debunk that completely here, simply in the next 5 minutes, and show you how they fake it all. Let's cut right to the smoking gun to start. Here is the website anyone can go to and see this all for themselves. On a side note, the Himawaria is operated by the Japanese Meteorological Space Agency and brought to us by the NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's GOES geostationary satellite server. And I'll include the links here for all this stuff in the video description, so you can check it out right now if you want. Okay, so when you're at the FTP site, click here for the site description. So when you do, a text file comes up, and you can see right here, they tell you that all of the images in the archive use the underlying colored land images from the NASA Blue Marble dataset. Yep. So the Himawaria is actually totally debunked right there. These aren't real pictures coming from a satellite in a geostationary orbit above the Earth getting snapped every 10 minutes and being beamed down for us to all ooh and ah over.
Let's pause that right there.
Oh,
God. No, Himawaria is not sending back photographs. It's sending back a string of fucking numbers that the computer people can interpret and build into a fucking photograph, because that's how it goddamn works, you moron. And if you take a goddamn picture of the mountain range and multiple snaps and stitch them together in freaking Photoshop, that doesn't make the original picture fake. It just makes it more complete.
Dead right. Every camera now that's built now, okay, is digital, okay. I mean, even with your phone, when you're taking a picture, that's not a photograph that's going onto the back of a film and producing a photo like a photo on a piece of paper. What do they think the satellites are doing? Sending bits of paper, flipping photographs down to Earth. It's freaking data. Exactly right. I mean, why can they can't understand that? I just don't get it. And of course, you got data and you put it into Photoshop, it must be fake. No, it's data. It has to be. There's no other way. The only real actual printed photograph they got, Willie, was the famous Blue Marble, and that was taken with a Hasselblad camera. That was not digital. There was no scans involved in that. Oh, how did that happen?
I just love the idea now of all satellites having little capsules that they fire back to Earth with photos in.
Exactly.
Yeah, boy, I so started to picture that when you guys were talking. a little fax machine coming out the back of a satellite with a paper flying down to Earth.
Well, I think they did try that, but Santa was complaining that he needed his elves back from the photo lab on Himawari for the Christmas season. So now we're stuck just sending a stream of data back.
Yeah, I mean, how the fuck do you think your cameras work on your phone? Jesus.
There's little gremlins in your phone drawing pictures.
Yeah,
That's right.
No, because you guys, if they show the globe, it's fake. But if they show like what they think is a flat horizon or a flat Earth, it's true. Just because, why the fuck not, right?
Yeah, I think I just heard Jeff try to say something.
It strikes me as funny that every picture of the flat Earth is a fucking illustration.
Well,
And they think that's the reality. Meanwhile, we've got the Himawari sending back the most beautiful images of this gorgeous place we call home. And they're sitting there going, CGI, CGI. Now I understand why you fucking failed kindergarten. You spent all your time eating the fucking Play-Doh instead of listening.
Well, actually, I have to disagree with you for one point you made. You said it was the most beautiful picture of the Earth. And all I'm going to say is, guess what? North America wasn't in there. Therefore, it's not that beautiful.
Hey. No, the main one was the one that showed Christchurch.
What's that, sir?
The most amazing one was the one from the ISS that passed over Christchurch.
Well, Christchurch in Bournemouth, the UK.
Hey, you shush with your fake Christchurch. We're talking the real Christchurch here.
Just because you've got real Marmite doesn't mean that our Christchurch is fake, all right?
What do you mean real?
Yeah.
Real Marmite.
No, I have to concede New Zealand Marmite is better than English Marmite. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I've tried them both, mate.
No, it's not.
Have you tried it, have you?
No, that's not the point.
Well, listen, Casual Space, fuck whatever your fucking name is. Until you try it, don't damn it, all right?
All right, son.
Whoa.
Shitting in my
I will
hand.
admit to it.
You know where that's going.
Logical. Do you understand what the fuck they're saying?
Yeah, actually I do, and I see that this is devolving into Kiwi culinary delights. And before we start getting into pineapple pizza, or tin spaghetti on pizza, let's turn to Aimee and see if she has anything from the live chat that can rescue us from this de-evolution in our conversation.
Yes, please. Actually, I've got a couple comments here that are really good. Colon says they use the composite layer to add context. The detail over the top is real-time information. POTP, go read a fucking book. I'm sorry. Yeah. Ugly German Jew says if the satellite pictures are fake, all FE videos are fake also, as they run through the same digitalization process as a digital photography from a satellite camera. Ugly German True says, plus probably far more processing, compression, manipulation on top of that.
Yeah, and before we move on with the next round of Stupid, I wanted to put a plug in for another channel that I'm involved with, Logic and Reason. And if anybody in the live chat has not seen it yet, I encourage you to. It is we have very intellectual conversations with experts in their fields, and Himawari 8 was actually addressed with Professor Phil Bell in very in-depth and very good. And one of the things that we were talking about is that the Himawari 8 crew is basically 100 guys in Japan doing their thing, right, with the computers and everything they got to do to keep that data stream flowing. Whereas if it were fake, how many thousands of computer programmers, meteorologists, and graphic artists around the world would it take to build a fake the Himawari photographs so that somebody like Wade's Underworld could be sitting in Australia and watching Himawari 8 in real freaking time and comparing it to the sky above his head?
What you mean like
produce that? Them produce those images every 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
But it is Photoshop because it has to be.
Yeah, but
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Don't you talk about my Marmite.
Did you know?
Oh,
Here's a little here's a little fact for you. I don't know if anyone knows this, but did you know that there is a Himawari 9?
No.
Yeah, well, there is. Do you know what it does? Absolutely fuck all. All it does is just sits next to Himawari 8, and then when Himawari 8's done, then they'll switch that one on. It's already up there.
well, that's cool.
Ready to go.
Yeah, wonderful, isn't it?
That is absolutely wonderful.
It's actually been pointed out there as well that Himawari is potentially saves lives. You know, in Australia, as you know, you've got a lot of problems with fires and what have you. So I'll just read it. I think I remember reading somewhere that the Australian science thing, I don't know who they are trying to get the Himawari pictures to show structures like buildings so they can pinpoint houses destroyed in the fires and give GPS locations so they can go straight to the to see if their lives have been lost. So you know what I mean? You know, it's another one of many satellites that actually saves lives, believe it or not. So yeah.
Well, it did discover that fire, didn't it?
It did.
A wildfire that no one knew about, and it was Himawari 8 that found it.
That's right.
There was that one up in Russia, just by Mongolia, wasn't it?
Yes, there was.
I remember you were saying something about it.
Aimee, we got anything from the live chat before we move on with more of the stupid?
Janie said that they spotted the wildfires from Himawari 8. She's used it before. She said we can also follow them that they currently have. And then Bob Jenkins says he lives in Australia, and a while ago he took a screen cap from the ISS app as it flew over. I compared the ISS image with Himawari 8, the local weather app cloud cover, and me looking up. They matched.
Oh, that's cool. How did that happen?
Well, anyone who hasn't seen Wade's Underworld's channel should check it out, because he done exactly that. Took photos of the clouds above his head and then images from Himawari. And hey, guess what? They're the fucking same.
No, he has literally done his own research. He didn't fucking look at YouTube videos on either side. He just went and did his own actual research on what's been shown and where he lives, and it all matches up. What a fucking shocker, eh?
Yeah, could it be because it's real?
Exactly.
Oh my freaking god! Well,
it's not real. It's a fucking balloon.
Yeah.
A Saturn.
Bullshit. So anyway, let's see what else this morons got to say, Tatty.
They take the Blue Marble data set, which I'm sure you remember. They admitted years ago was a flat strip data pieced together by an artist named Rob Simon in Photoshop, because it had to be, right? But to move on, and then to just briefly show you how they generate a picture every 10 minutes with what appears to be accurate in current weather. This is basically what they do. Now, don't take my word for it, as I always say. Go check it out for yourself. Number one, they have already created and stored...
Fucking word you say, mate.
Why every time when they talk about the globe, they have to bring up that guy Simmons, like he's the only graphic artist that works for NASA?
Because casual.
If they actually listen to what it has to be, because like we said before, it's freaking data. Because at the time as well, the satellites they were using weren't far enough out to take pictures of the whole freaking Earth. So it has to be. But we don't understand why it has to be.
And at the time he said that in the interview, they were talking about photographs being taken from the ISS. Yeah. It's a hell of a lot fucking closer to the Earth than what the Himawari is. It can't see the entire Earth at the same freaking time. It's going to have to take a bunch of smaller pictures in different locations and stitch them together to get one complete picture of the globe.
The amount of times I've heard that name Simmons mentioned now, honestly, I must hear it every single day in some videos of some globe denying dickwad.
I hear you giggling over there, Spaceman.
No, that was the barman giggling.
I'm giggling at Spaceman.
Oh, okay. He's playing Vanquilla. Yeah, whatever. Here, stop talking for me. So, Barman, what do you got?
Oh, it's all just crazy. I think most of the bits have been covered so far. I'll have more points soon.
Okay. Jutmonk? You there, Jutmonk?
Jut.
I guess we'll, okay.
Bueller.
Great. Okay, well,
Dear boy.
let's watch some more stupid and yeah, okay.
Transparent images of the weather over the oceans using climate simulation software, which they openly admit right here that they've done climate simulations up to the year 2095. But it's actually the year 2100 on this FTP server folder, and here is one of the images. And following some of the other images that you can find where the land masses are transparent, and they use all this simulation software to come up with the weather over the oceans. You know, since our weather data comes from our ground-based Doppler radar, and it's impossible to use ground-based systems to cover the entire vast oceans, so that's where the weather over the oceans comes from, their software simulations. Number 2, now for the weather over the land, the NOAA has supercomputers that take data coming in from all over the world, Doppler radar feeds, and crunch it all together and combine it with the weather simulation data over the oceans, so they come up with a complete composite weather quote-unquote map, which is then wrapped around a ball in their 3D modeling software programs, just like we've shown countless times in our previous episodes with the Earth and the planets, etc.
Stop. No, they don't use ground-based Doppler radar to talk about the weather in the oceans. That's a combination of weather buoys that are actually floating in the fucking oceans and satellites that are orbiting, taking pictures of what the hell the open oceans are doing. And they're not just using regular camera lenses. They're using things like infrared and all kinds of other cool other spectrums that you can see down what's going on down into the oceans. You know, what the fuck?
Fuck knows, but I heard my name when I was over the other side of the room.
I mean, why does he think that we've actually got more accurate with weather predictions in the last 30, 40 years? It's not just because of computers, but it's also because of satellites. There's a hell of a lot more weather satellites up there, like the Himawari 3 or 2, whatever we call it.
And we have a lot more data.
Yeah, tons of data, tons and tons of data, and that's why they've got these supercomputers, so they can handle all the data. You know, it's just, come on.
Which improves our model, something they have a problem with.
But we don't live in a model.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, dear me.
It's a model, it can't be true.
Yeah, but yeah, they say we don't live in a model, but they also want to say we live in a fucking cosmic snow globe. Are you serious? Jeff, go ahead, Monkey.
I have seen the flat Earth model. That guy was selling them at the conference. You know, it looks like a little fucking clock with a glass dome over the top.
Oh God, yes, Jeff. I know you're jumping at the bits.
Oh man, all this bullshit about fucking has to be photoshopped and shit. It boggles the fucking mind that they just can't understand the scale of the Earth. I just can't get my head around that kind of stupidity. I really can't. I mean, this guy should jam his face in his dog's ass and tell me if he can see the whole fucking dog at the same time. I doubt he can fucking do it.
Oh, there's the steaming cup of reason that we all know and love.
Fucking Jesus. These guys are so fucking belligerently stupid. It should be a crime.
God, and did I hear a crowd cheer, Aimee? What's going on in the live chat?
Yes, you did. We have another super chat from Surf for $2 American. He says, hi. So thank you so much, Surf. And hello. And we have a couple good comments, if that's okay. Ugly German Truth says there are videos with days worth of epic or Himawari photos showing a rotating Earth with moving clouds and all, just made by stitching together the original images with no other other things. Colon says, I'm starting to get worried. I think DKIS and Anti-Flat are going to abduct me, tie me to a chair in the Shill's secret bunker, and make me watch all of Riley's videos back to back because of the videos he sent.
Don't worry, we'll provide you with Marmite sandwiches.
Oh, lovely. And then
Marmite.
Ugly German Turd says simulation data is not reliable in details. It gives rough trends, thus the thick cones for hurricane pass days in advance.
Oh, well, comments are always okay, so you never need to ask. And Colin, if they abduct you and tie you to a chair and make you watch all of this, hey, fair's fair. As much as I love you, you did spring this on us. And, we'd love to have you in the Shills lair, so any way we can get you there, what the hell. I think the Marmite might be stretching things a little bit, but,
Well,
all right, you can have a spaghetti pizza.
I got a comment, unless it was read when I was out the room, by Ugly German Truths. It says, going back to our Christchurch, the Kiwis at least squeeze more idiots into their Christchurch. A few 100,000 more.
I can't argue with that. I used to live in Christchurch. Yeah, like I say, I can't argue with it. I used to live in Christchurch. There's a reason I'm in Wellington now.
Well, apparently Janie thinks Vegemite's better. Never had it.
No, I've had Vegemite. That is definitely wrong. That is wrong.
Here we go, Cape. So we got Marmite, as we all know, is the semen of the gods. Vegemite is the dog's anus.
Yeah, I agree with that. Christ, I never thought I'd agree with anything, but yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, God. Teddy, we are, looks like about 20 minutes shy of our 2-hour mark. How much more of this idiot's video is left?
We have about 3 minutes, or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we can get on with that as long as we lay off the Vegemite and Marmite.
Yeah.
What do you guys say?
I think he's about to pick on Mars, so that'd be interesting.
Here we go then, folks. Once again, buckle up. It's going to be a rough ride.
I gotta do a line before this one.
So, then what we get are composite images like this that are created in the 3D modeling software, the current Doppler weather data over land and the simulated weather over the oceans, and it looks like this. So this particular image is on the FTP server and is date and time stamped with October 11th, 2017 at 11:05 a.m. I just chose one randomly. Notice the image shows you the weather for the whole ball and not just part of the ball that is lit by the sun at this particular time. No Terminator line or anything like that. Right? Okay. Now, here's the kicker. Go to the other file folder, which is the images that we get to see and are told are real pictures from space. But what they've simply done is taken the weather map picture of the whole ball they created and they superimpose it over the blue marble data set, just like they said they did. So what you can see here is the final version of what we're spoon-fed and told is a picture taken by the Himawari from space, like,
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Monkey, go.
I mean, like, these people drive me fucking insane. I mean, does he not realise that just because half of the globe might be in darkness, that the fucking camera can see in other frequencies? For fuck's sake, what is wrong with you?
You don't need to know whether it's dark or light. The weather is gonna happen either way, you fucking moron.
The fucking satellite's up there taking all kinds of fucking data. Doesn't matter if it's fucking dark.
No, it's like this. It'd be the middle of the night in the field, like when I was back in the army, we couldn't see shit. And then we turn our night vision goggles on, and all of a fucking sudden, I can see where the fuck I'm going.
Exactly. Oh, wow, and look, and it still fucking rains in the dark as well.
Oh, yeah, fucking trust me, it does.
Yeah, they just didn't mount a little Canon camera on this goddamn satellite. They put all kinds of different sensors that looks at it in all different spectrums of the EM frequency. I mean, come on. Who hasn't seen pictures from space of lightning happening in the dark areas? And if you can see that with your naked eye, how much more is technology going to be able to see through the darkness?
Exactly. I mean, oh, fuck.
hard time with just broken steaming cup.
I'm fucking speechless. I can't fucking understand this stupidity. I really can't. I mean, what does this guy think? Does this guy think a fucking hurricane comes along and, oh, it's nighttime, gonna clock out, go home, get some sleep, come back the next morning, clock back in, back to work, and off it goes? You fucking moron! How fucking stupid can you fucking be? You need some kind of fucking brain to at least maintain natural body function. You don't even have that. How the fuck do you live?
Or worse still, does he think that the hurricane's going, oh, if I sneak around on the dark side, they won't know I'm fucking coming?
Yeah, exactly. I'll sneak up behind them. And then when the sun comes up, it's like, boo, ha-ha. You fucking moron.
Oh, wait a minute. You got,
oh, my
you did.
God.
You know, for somebody that's speechless, he has a lot to say.
Clown. What a fucking clown.
Hey, Steeman, you're on fire tonight, dude. Carry on.
Holy shit. If it wasn't for natural fucking reflex response, this guy would be fucking dead. His fucking heart wouldn't know to beat. Jesus Christ. How thick? He's got to have the thickest skull in the fucking world. Otherwise, atmospheric pressure would have imploded his fucking head years ago.
Oh my God! If this is what speechless is like for Jeff, he needs to be speechless more often.
God, this guy's a walking fucking brick. Holy shit!
Get in there,
are you
Jeff.
okay over there?
Oh,
it sounds like he's dying.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man, I've hit the fucking limit. This is man, for fuck's sakes, holy shit! What a fucking utter waste of fucking skin this guy is.
Broken the Jeff.
Holy shit! I'm surprised he's got the faculties to fucking speak, let alone think. Holy shit!
I think we need to have paramedics come to Flatter's house. It sounds like he's dying over there, having an epileptic fit or something. Flatter, what's going on? Are you okay? You still with us, buddy?
Oh God! I'm gonna need a few moments to catch my breath.
Just wind him up and let him go. Jeff, go on, go.
I'm sorry, guys. I just can't fucking hold it in anymore. These fucking people are unbelievable. How do these fucking things grow? I mean, what kind of fucking pesticide do we have to fucking spray to get rid of them? I don't know. Fucking hell. It's like fucking pulling weeds that just keep fucking growing back. Holy shit.
Personally, I think you should just round them all up and tell them, drop them off at Antarctica and tell them to find the fucking ice wall and jump off the edge.
Yeah, fuck, that would be a good idea. Then I'd believe you're flat Earth, and I'll be thankful for it at that point.
Yeah. And they won't find it. They'll just wander around forever, aimlessly looking for a figment of their imagination.
Oh, man, they're a figment of an imagination. Holy shit.
Flatter, did you get your
figment of my dog turds?
Flatter, did you get your breath yet? Are you okay?
Oh,
sorry, guys. Jeez. I had to put myself on mute because my laughing was too much. Then I started coughing, and I tried to have a drink to try and soothe my throat. Then you said something else, and fuck it, you're paying for the keyboard.
Oh man, I'm sorry, brother. I really didn't mean to do that to you, but it hit. I hit my max, man. I had to let off the pressure of a release valve, you know.
Well, at least we now know what Jutmonk would sound like if he was Canadian.
Well, exactly. And I've actually even said that in one of my videos. That is what I love about you, Jeff, is that you're the same as me. You've got the fucking minerals to call a fucking knobsack a fucking knobsack.
Fucking A, Judd. Fucking A. And if I was a monkey, I'd be throwing shit too.
I don't think Jeff's a real Canadian. I don't think Jeff's a real Canadian because not once did I hear him say, "I'm sorry, but you're a fucking moron, eh?" You know, I mean, a real Canadian would actually apologize in the middle of that.
Well, you know, I did apologize to Flatter. Let's be
okay, that's good. Punchy, are you still with us? Did you pass out? He might have passed out. I don't know. What about you, Barman?
I'm here. I've just been giggling away. Fuck my life, Jeff. Oh, you're awesome. You really are. And these morons we have to contend with are just no. I think anything I say at this point will just be a letdown to what Jeff has said. Fuck my life.
Oh.
That was good.
It's like
God,
you're a
probably.
fucking biological experiment that fucking dropped out of a petri dish and got and run amok, you know, and grew into these little fucking flirt fights.
I wouldn't even go that far. All these fucking dumb as fuck retarded fucktards are pants explosions that fucking manage to somehow inseminate a woman.
Oh fuck yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just oozing stupid. I think they must leave a fucking trail of wetness behind them when they're walking there. It's like a fucking slug of stupid.
Like a fucking snail, and it stinks like cheesy. You know what?
Oh man.
Sounds like we need to adjust Spaceman's air mixture in his spacesuit. Hey, Aimee, while they're trying to catch their breath for the next tirade, what's going on in the live chat?
We got some good comments. Oh my god! I think we broke Spaceman again. Okay, Ugly German Truth says also, if I recall correctly, you can catch the downstream from Himawari and discover. Digital Demonic Davro says spectrophotometry is a damn thing. My word, I am ready to go nuclear on these dishonest butt-munching morons. Colon says, you know, POTP decided to be a flat earther when his wife came home and said, hey, hun, did you know there are fucking idiots who think the Earth's flat? Obviously, he didn't realize context. The Caddy Jack Wizard says, at least if they're wandering around, they won't be spewing their shit. Purple Rhymes with Orange says, anyone who sees the edge of the ice wall gets shot by the laser-armed penguins and fed to the Nephilim.
Well, to be fair, Lance Flatter did do that.
I did what there, Flatter?
If you see the edge of the ice wall, Lance Flatter does shoot you, apparently. Oh, he's been converted into some other person right now. It doesn't matter.
Oh, God. Well, I think we need to wind up Jeff and Monkey a little bit more with a little more stupid there, Tatty.
Oh, my pleasure, mate. My pleasure.
10 minutes ago. This is the image from the same date and time, October 11th, 2017 at 11:05 a.m. And you can see that the weather is exactly the same. Watch it closely. There's your weather map comprised of simulated and Doppler radar being used to complete a composite image. They do this with the Discover satellite too. The Epic camera from 1 million miles away, they tell us. Ridiculous. Okay. Now, also notice the final image has a Terminator line added in to try to make it look like a real picture from space, which drives a nail in the coffin of the Himawari because the weather data shows it over the whole ball completely. But they have to add a Terminator line to show the Earth only partially lit by the sun based on the time of day that the photo is allegedly taken. So if this is a real picture...
I've got a good idea, you fucking dickwad. How about you take all that data from that time and date of that fucking photograph and then check around the world to see if, hey, it actually did fucking match with the weather that was actually going on at that fucking moment around the fucking globe, you dick.
The question is, how much did they spend to train those clouds to go exactly where the satellite was telling them? I mean, fuck me. No wonder NASA's spending fucking millions a day.
Yeah, this dickweed doesn't seem to understand that his little switch back and forth actually proves the fucking satellite. You know, you can actually tune into this fucking live, you know, and then watch it happen in real fucking time. If this was all ground-based radar, Doppler 5 radar, doing this, you wouldn't be able to watch it in real time across the entire globe because there's going to be a goddamn time lag with all of them bringing all of their data together and be able to mix it together to produce that image where Himawari can just take one shot, send it, and away you go.
Imagine the fucking... Sorry. Excuse the global effort it would take to fucking do that. You know what I mean? It would be much easier to just fucking send a satellite into space.
Yeah, no
Not
shit.
easier.
Jeff, I heard that little wine key on your back going crank, crank, crank. I know you got a tirade coming. Lay it on us, man.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Let it build. Let it build.
Oh, we're not at critical mass yet. Okay.
We're not at critical mass yet. We're getting there. We're getting there.
All right. Anybody else want to have a word before we get some more stupid on the screen to get him to reach that critical mass?
No, just bring the fucking rest of that bollocks off this video and let's get this knob cheese out of the way.
But here's one for him, actually, just a real quick one. Has he ever taken a photo at night with his camera? No, it doesn't have to be his phone camera or anything. With the flash setting. And then all of a sudden, night becomes fucking day when he takes that photo. I mean, I don't get what the
he's a
fuck's
flat
the
earther.
issue
He's
with the whole...
bound to have a P1000 or a P900.
I don't get what his issue is with the fact that when you've got your camera set to one setting, you can see through the darkness and you can see the cloud formations, and then when your camera's set to another setting, you can't. How many cameras does he think we put on these satellites? They don't go up there with just one P1000 and that's it.
No, they put a GoPro as well.
Oh, true, and they have to put that with the fisheye lens because, reasons.
You know,
got to make it look like a globe, haven't we?
Exactly.
You know what I'm wondering right about now is, and maybe Monkey can answer this one, how many beers does it take to pee 1,000?
Several.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Anthony Riley can answer that one.
I can allegedly, Dave.
Yeah.
No, the question to him would be how many beers would it take to just pee live on air?
Yeah.
Give my glass.
Okay, let's get some more stupid. We got to get Jeff to critical mass.
How did they know where to put the clouds and weather on the part of the globe with no sunlight? It's completely dark there. It's all right here, guys. They are faking space. Hey, we all fell for it for a long time with their Doppler radar and weather simulation software, building a current weather picture and wrapping it around a ball in 3D software and pasting it onto a black background like they do with all the others, adding a Terminator line and calling it a real picture from space. Himawari debunked once and for all. This has been Paul on the Plane. Thanks for watching.
Sorry, I missed the part where he debunked Himawari, though. I missed that bit.
Well, it's debunked because it says it is.
Yeah. Because of, reasons.
How did they know where to put the clouds?
Here it comes. Here's Jeff.
A hurricane is going to hit landfall. They can fucking track it from space. How do they do that if it's not up there in space?
Holy fuck. How did they know where to put the clouds? What the fuck do you think they're doing? Weather by paint by number, you fucking moron? Holy shit. How fucking stupid can you be? Oh my god. You know when you get a big seashell on the fucking beach and you hold it to your ear, you can hear the sea? You fucking hold his head to your ear and you're gonna hear Hurricane fucking Edna. Holy shit. Oh fuck. Oh man, this guy is the ultimate in stupid. The ultimate in stupid. This guy is a fucking stupid slug worming its way down the fucking street, leaving a wet trail behind him of stupid. Unfucking real. I can't believe this.
All globe deniers are. All globe denying, backward thinking wank spanners are fucking stupid. They are. They're all stupid as fuck. I mean, they are so stupid that if you put them in a room with one door that said way out, they wouldn't have a fucking clue how to get out the fucking room.
I couldn't agree more, Jet. I mean, there is 40 million sperm in an average man's ejaculate. 20 of them are dead on arrival. And that's the one that got through? Holy fuck.
Well,
Like
this is a perfect example of...
I don't even think that that's how he got fucking, I think it literally was a pants explosion and then a woman just happened to sit on the fucking pants by accident and it fucking somehow crawled up there.
Oh.
And here we have a globe-denying fucktard.
This is a perfect example of someone that doesn't know crap, spewing crap to other people who don't know crap, who's lapping up his crap, so that we can actually talk crap about the crap he's spewing, trying to teach him some other crap that they won't listen to. Don't you love the versatility of a single word?
Yeah, and do you know what? And they just think it's all crap.
Oh man, I'm done with this. Oh fuck, I'm getting a headache
Jeff.
now.
You all right, pal? You might need to take a sit down after that.
I think I will, Jut. I think I will. It's gonna take me all week just to recoup for next week's show.
Oh well, but anyway, we're at our 2-hour mark, so why don't we go around the table and get some final thoughts right after we talk to Aimee and see what's going on in the live chat.
Okay, I'm just sitting back here just laughing. It's been hard to try to get the comments ready, but yes, we have some good ones. Ugly German Truth says, I find it more ridiculous to believe anyone can be a flat earther but still use computers, phones, and tie their own laces. Something does not calculate in these 3 claims. No one would spend the money for satellites if it were possible to do it from the ground. Caddyshack Wizard says, people who can fool us for so long that the earth is flat, yet they are so dumb they can be debunked by the R word on YouTube sounds logical to me. Bob Jenkins says, if I recall correctly, Pixar and Weta couldn't render real-time weather that fast, so how's it bloody well done if it's not real? And Ugly German Truth says Himawari has 16 channels, 3 visible for red, green, and blue, 3 near infrared, and 10 IR.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Our live chat has always got a lot of good stuff to say. And Aimee, while you got your mic open, why don't you give us some final thoughts on the stupid we've seen this evening?
Oh my God! I mean, really, they painted those on by not. Oh, this guy, it really and truly is a fucking idiot. I know. How did they get the clouds over in the dark part? Oh my God. I've worked with people smarter than this guy. I can tell you that right now. And even they know the Earth is a globe. I mean, it's just crazy. And we also just got a super chat. Perfect timing, Surf. Thank you so much. Surf gave us $5 American, and he said, since DKIS isn't here, I'll shill for him. Buy his books. Thank you, Surf, very
Kevin's
much.
books.
That's right. And he has a link in the chat, too. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Surf is my favorite Dougie. After all the super chats and great comments he's given us, he deserves a belly rub and a chew toy.
Yeah.
And, so let's go over to Jeff. What's he got going on for final thoughts there, Jeff?
Oh, well, what more can I say? I mean, I've spewed so much. Oh, fuck. All I can say is that this guy has got his head so far up his ass, he's going to have to make an appointment with a surgeon to get a tonsillectomy so he can see daylight again. Unfucking real.
Oh, God. Oh, that's great. Monkey, what do you got for final thoughts?
Well, I think that... Well, I mean, I'm baffled. I just still, even now, I've been doing this for as long as I have, I still cannot believe how fucking idiotic people can be. I mean, this guy must literally sit at home, pull out his colouring book, get his crayons out, and he doesn't know what to do next, you know? It's like, right, well, I've got me crayons, I've got me colouring book, I've opened it up, there's a picture, now I'm fucking lost.
Oh, this one is orange. I wonder if it tastes like one.
And no, purple doesn't fucking rhyme with orange.
Oh, God. Flatter, what do you got?
Oh, sure. Make me follow those two. With me, it's going to be his whole conclusion is based on the fact that he doesn't understand how he got the information in the first place. The only thing he's debunked here is his ability to think.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
Man.
Must be the fact that I must have laughed my brain loose, or this fucker must have. I need veggie. I need Marmite.
Oh God, we broke Flatter. Oh God. Okay,
Where's
we're gonna let
Where's my spaghetti
Barman
pizza?
come to the rescue. What have you got to rescue Flatter?
I think Barman might have dropped.
A Barman dropped. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Oh God, you're killing him.
Oh,
I killed another
God.
one. Oh, no.
Well, Teddy, before we move on to our guests, what have you got?
Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, that was two absolutely fucking astounding videos, man. I loved every second of that. The stupid was almost tangible. I mean, fuck me gently. How can folks get so much so fucking wrong so fucking consistently? It's just, it beggars belief, man. It's wow. Wow.
They get it so wrong because they're globe denying fucktards.
Ladies and
very
gentlemen, I
important.
apologize. I broke the shills.
Oh God. Oh, what about Punchy? Has he woke up yet? Punchy, are you there? I still see you on the list for the live chat. No, Punchy. What?
They've killed him.
Okay, yeah, we've lost Punchy too apparently. Well, what about Spaceman? What's he got to say about all the proceedings for this evening?
I've kind of run out of words really because I was almost broken after I heard Jeff saying all that stuff. Literally, I just lost it for a little while there, and I could hear Anti-Flat giggling in the background, which kind of made it twice as bad. So yeah, I couldn't breathe for a little while. So I really just don't know what else to add really. But Paul and the Plane, oh Jesus, he's worse than he wants. Well, it's worse than I thought. I mean, he's done like a whole series on space is fake stuff. And I thought one day, right, I'm going to go through them, right, and I'll do some videos on each one of them. But things, you get the odd bits and pieces, but then the rest of it is just like he's providing nothing but it looks fake and it's this and that and the other, and getting things completely and utterly wrong. And then it kind of ends up, well, there's nothing really to debunk. You know, so you have a look through his channel and stuff like that. You'll understand what I mean, really. But I just want to finish with thanks for having me on again. I've had an absolute blast, really, really have. So yeah, appreciate it. It's been a good one.
Oh, well, I appreciate everybody showing up. I appreciate everybody in the live chat. Aimee, did I hear the crowd going wild again?
You did. We got a super chat from Old Man Dan for $6.66 US, and he says, "Thanks for the laughs, and I'm sorry for the casualties amongst the shills."
Well, not to worry, guys. Our NASA overlords will definitely get their technicians out and put us all back together. Unlike all the King's horses and all King's men, these Humpty Dumptys can be put together again. And with that, we are the Shills. Join us every Saturday night at about the same time for more fucking stupid. And for anybody out there that might be into the conspiracy theories watching this, read a fucking book and then come back and talk to us. Teddy, take us home.
Well,
Bye,
let's say bye
guys.
then, man. Catch you
Toodles.
on the flip
Bye.
side.
Bye.
Good
Ciao,
night.
people.
Bye-bye.
Fucking love the lot of ya.